Hey, it's Hills from the Blue Flame Apothecary. Have you ever walked into something with your eyes wide shut? So I'm here to talk about the Jupiter-Neptune Conjunction happening on Tuesday, April 12th. And I felt that I was going to be talking about this. I thought I was going to record something yesterday about it, but then there was Cesar Chavez Day Festival outside, and it was pretty loud, and there was a lot of other things going on. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to record it on Sunday instead. And then I let my personal Instagram account get hacked. It's been taken over. So if you follow me from Hills, I'm in the process right now of recovering my account, and the fake one has been reported. It's got 2 underscores after my name. And it feels like the real reason that I wasn't able to record anything about the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction was because this had to happen first in order for me to highlight within myself and teachable moment, all that good stuff. One of the aspects of this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, which is illusion, and allowing yourself to follow a path that's not real. And the reason that so the way that it's come in is I walked into this with my eyes wide shut. I don't know if you've ever seen that Kubrick movie, but it's Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, and Tom Cruise allows himself to be led down a path that leads to bad outcomes all around. And one of the themes, one of the threads throughout all of this is, in every instance, he is very aware that he's doing things that don't make any sense. And he's confused. Why do I keep doing this thing? This was me. Over the course of the last week, on my personal Instagram account, I got a message from an old friend asking me about some Cash App tag. I didn't even know what a Cash App tag was. I don't have Cash App. But I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And each instance of this not even really conversation that I was having with this old friend of mine, every alarm bell in my system was going off. This is fake. This isn't him. I even went to his Instagram page to see if it looked nefarious, but I hadn't been using my personal Instagram account really at all, except for to post a couple of apothecary things here and there. So I was like, oh, maybe he's gotten really into Bitcoin. But each time I was like, I would sit on the thing, whatever the last message was, for a few hours, even a day, and just be like, yeah, it's not real. This is a scam. This is phishing. And I could usually smell fish, and this was like month-old fish. This wasn't even like a couple of days old fish. But I kept going. Curiosity. I don't know why I kept following the lead. I was just like, all right, well, I'll do this one last piece. And then there was one final one where I was like, no, okay, I can't do that one. But I followed it long enough to allow my account to be taken over, at least temporarily. And luckily I don't have anything attached to that account, so there's no way to access, and I hope that anyone who's following me over there does not also follow this rabbit hole. There's a little Alice in Wonderland aspect to it too, isn't there? Like, she knows the queen is dangerous, but for some reason she just has to go and like investigate the queen, hang out with the queen for a little while. This is all to say that together with the amazing opportunities that this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction has, there's all this like spiritual awakening and really powerful, high frequency, high vibe energy. But whenever that comes in, there's also this really funky aspect of like almost a mistrust of your inner knowing, of your intuition. Things can get really watery. So the rational part of your mind can get swept out to sea in a big way. So, to use my example, as I walked into this with my eyes wide shut, I kept going, even though every alarm bell, I even had a dream that this particular friend of mine was asking me to run a natal chart for him with Kali heavily, like he wanted to know everything about what Kali was doing, the asteroid Kali, in his natal chart because he was about to start a new job. That right there, like, I don't run personal natal charts for people. I sometimes do favors. Or like if you're a really good friend of mine, I'll look at yours. But that's not what I do in the world. And Kali, like the truth slayer, like she was just coming in like, hey, here's a big lesson for you. And maybe it's a lesson for all of us, right? If I can be open and honest about how I allowed myself to follow this trail, to follow the rabbit down the hole, I can also show how easy it is. Like, let me suspend my disbelief. And that can be a beautiful thing. Suspending your disbelief is super powerful. Beginner's mind is super powerful. Imagination, curiosity, all of these things are amazing. But if you don't enter into them with the knowledge of all of the other energies out there that might want to take advantage of, a childlike nature, then you can risk getting taken advantage of, getting lost in the maze of delusion. There are a couple of reasons I think that I allowed myself to follow this trail. One of them, my first one was, I'm excited to hear from this friend of mine. Another was, to say I'm reinventing myself would be a bit extreme maybe. I'm stepping more into who I've always been. But the From Hills account I've had for many, many years, and there are aspects of that person who don't feel real to me anymore. And maybe, like Kali likes to do, I wanted to just kind of blow that up. I don't know, I could probably talk about all of the various reasons, subconscious and conscious, that I went through it. But I also think it's the gift in it is that we can have this conversation now, like looking at all of the gifts that this sort of expansive, imaginative, beautiful, high frequency, high vibratory energy can bring about. But it also carries with it that innate risk of becoming completely ungrounded, becoming hijacked. That's a good word for it, becoming hijacked, which is what happened to my personal Instagram account, right? My identity is now being used to try and scam other people in that place. And like I said, I've already notified everyone, so hopefully nothing will happen. But yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? How we can kind of lose ourselves into this. I just want to see where this is going. And if I'm completely honest, that was kind of where I was. I was just like, I'm kind of curious. I want to see where this is going. And that's also beautiful, There are so many opportunities for us to explore. But trusting that part of you that knows, that it knows. Like, I knew the entire time, I knew what was happening, but I went along with it anyways. Which is why I was telling Mike, I don't feel like a victim, because I walked right into it. I walked right into it. And now I get to play around with, like, what else am I walking right into that isn't actually true? Where else am I allowing myself to be led down a false path? And now all of us can explore that. Like, where am I being led down a false path? Where am I allowing my voice, my message, my meaning, my being to be hijacked? As you expand your heart and open up more and more and more, become more and more sensitive, the opportunities for soul growth and for spiritual growth and for personal and emotional and mental and physical balancing and reharmonizing are so beautiful and amazing. But the more open your channel is, the more susceptible you are to, you could call them power plays. That's the way it's coming in for me, is like an energy sucks. Like cords attaching to you, trying to, like that vampire energy. Clear boundaries, making sure that you're really secure in your being is really important right now. And I love that I kind of got put under the spotlight for it. Like, hey, this shit can happen to anybody, anytime. I'm human. I have curiosity. I have a lot of curiosity. And so sometimes we're like, I just want to see where this leads, even if it's wrong. It's like watching a horror movie. Like, they know they're not supposed to go in that door, but they go anyways because something in them makes them. And then you get to play around with, okay, well, what made me do that thing? So it's also important not to like beat yourself up. If you follow the rabbit down the hole, if you walk into something with your eyes wide shut, we all fucking do it. Almost every day, there's probably at least one thing that you followed that you probably could have done without. But then you can learn from that. It's about recognizing that you did it. Let me just feel if there's anything else. Well, if you're a member of the Apothecary members portal on the Patreon, you could be doing the new cutting cords meditation that I channeled through last week. That one is going to be really powerful right now, and I've been doing quite a bit of that myself. If you're not a member of the portal, but you're on my YouTube channel, the crystalline Faraday cage, which I have had to also reinforce in this energetic suck that I've been in, that frequency transmission and practice would be really good. You can also check out all of my other stuff while you're there, and hit the subscribe button and ding the little bell, and like the videos if you like them. And you can follow my Blue Flame Apothecary on Instagram. And when From Hills is under my control again, I'll make sure to let everyone know. But in the meantime, if you ever see a From Hills account and it's not just FROMHILS, it ain't me. And just know that. And I will never come into your DMs and ask you for any information. Ever. That's just not something that I would do. So be confident of that as well. It's good to laugh at yourself when you fuck up. It's important. I mean, what else are you gonna do? And yeah, cry if it's something that you need to cry about. You can do that too. This particular instance is not. I can just laugh at myself on this one. I will be posting more in the coming days. We have not just this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction on Tuesday, but we also have the full moon coming up on Thursday. And so I'm going to be finishing up and doing all the stuff for the Cosmic Light Drops newsletter. You can sign up for that in my linktree on my website. And the linktree is in the bio of my Instagram. What else? If you're a member, I'm doing the Oracle draw for this week later today, and I'll post that first thing tomorrow morning. Other than that, I just fucking love you guys. Thank you. And thank you for letting me be super vulnerable about this eyes wide shut illusion that I allowed myself to follow. As always and in all ways, so much and many loves from all the dimensions.